If you're going through a dark time right now, spiritually, emotionally, hear me out. In this video, I'm going to tell you about 2 things you can do, and if you do them with a profound inner seriousness, things will change for you in a mere 3 days. I'm going to explain in detail what those 2 things are and why they will affect change in a mere 3 days. A few months after the pandemic hit, my life started to fall apart. I lost multiple sources of income. I lost some close friendships. All the gyms were closed. I lost my social circle. And about 50% of my hair fell out. And it is in moments of weakness that past traumas like to surface. Past traumas, in a sense, they're like ghosts. They're like these low-level energies, like demons just waiting for you to plummet. And when you do, there they are. And when you are in that dark place, all your thoughts are negative. And negative thoughts, they can like spin out of control, like you're catastrophizing. You'll be thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe my boss said this. I can't believe he did this. I can't believe how much this person wronged me. I'm going to be homeless. Like this is my life is the worst, right? And there's a point where you can get so low and so full of despair that nothing higher can penetrate you. Like no higher impression, grace cannot penetrate you, right? So this is where I was. Like I was in this dark place and I felt like everything was closing in on me. And this was during the times of the lockdowns, right? So I was actually spending a lot of time at home. And I was at some points feeling that I don't have any more hope. Like I was feeling hopeless. Like, I felt like I can't see the light. Like, it's like I was drowning. And then this moment came. I was standing in the middle of my living room and I was standing over my barbell with my bumper plates. I just finished this excruciating deadlift set because that's what I did during the pandemic. Like because all the gyms were closed, I set up like a lifting space in the middle of my living room in my 2-bedroom apartment, right? And I was standing there just trying to catch my breath, right? And just all of a sudden, I felt like this weight was lifted off me. Kind of ironic because I just lifted. And here I am just looking around going, seeing the light. Everything seemed so light all of a sudden. And as I stood there feeling this in my heart, I started to feel this intense thankfulness, like this intense gratitude. I felt thankful for the weights, in front of me. I felt grateful for the roof over my head, right? At least right now. I felt thankful for the food in my fridge and particularly the Haagen-Dazs in my freezer. I had, the vanilla bean and the chocolate chunk. It was so awesome, right? So I was overcome by this intense gratitude. Now, in the past, I've heard that you have to be thankful, I've heard that, gratitude is important. We all hear about it. But it is only after this that I truly understood, on a deeper level, why gratitude is important. You see, because emotions, they permeate us. Emotions permeate us and affect our constitution. And what we are is how the world responds to us, right? And gratitude is a higher level emotion. And higher level emotions, they turn us into like higher level beings in a sense, right? So when you are overcome by gratitude, in a sense, you're a higher level being. Another example of a higher level emotion is awe. Just recently, I finished reading this book called The Cosmic Landscape by Leonard Susskind, who is a theoretical physicist, right? And he wrote about string theory. Like I always liked science and I always liked the quantum mechanics, right? But my background is not in science. So to kind of understand what he's talking about, it took some mental effort. Like it took took some intellectual power, right? So as I was trying to comprehend what he was saying, I kind of struggled a bit. But then when I started to understand it kind of well, or at least grasp some of what he was saying, I was filled with awe about all this stuff. Like I was just filled with awe. I'm like, this is amazing, right? And once I was filled with awe, like this triggered, I guess is the right word, like it triggered like these higher level thoughts, like higher level thinking, which also kind of triggered more awe and more higher level emotions. And after I finished this book, I almost felt changed, like, because that's what higher level emotions do. Another example of a higher level emotion is obviously love. And as I stood there feeling this gratitude, I understood that if I could just feel this on a regular basis, if I could just feel this every day, I will be led out of the darkness. I'll be led onto my path. I'll be led out of the wilderness. And I understood that by like natural light. Because when you are experiencing higher level emotions and having higher level thoughts, a lot of things just come to you and you understand them by like natural light, like Cartesian natural light. So how do you feel this on a regular basis? Do you deadlift yourself into a stupor every day? Well, you may try that, but I have deadlifted myself into a stupor so many times. And although I had moments where I felt, amazing and I felt all the endorphins kicking in, this was a unique experience. So when you are in darkness and you have that veil of negativity around you, what you need is to create a space so something higher, a higher level impression can reach you. Grace. So grace can reach you, right? So you need to create that. Now, how do you do that? Now, the answer is, if you've been listening to a lot of motivational videos and if you've been on YouTube for a while, you probably know what's coming. But I'm going to tell you how to really make it work. The answer here is meditation. So what kind of meditation? Well, actually, all meditation serves to create that space, to create that calmness so something higher can reach you. Now, I hear objections when I propose meditation. I hear things like, oh, well, it doesn't really work. I tried, it didn't really work. Or, or it freaked me out. Now, here's the thing. When I was 15, I took Kung Fu at this wonderful place called Energy Lake Studios, right? And one of the instructors, and we called them instructors, not senseis, they were just instructors. There's this one instructor who always said that if you want to be successful in Kung Fu or in anything in life, that you have to be really serious about it. You have to approach it with a profound inner seriousness. And there's nowhere where I see this more than when it comes to people who want to lose weight, like, or, lose fat or, put on muscle and change their body composition, right? And, you hear people saying, well, I tried dieting, it doesn't work. I tried counting calories, right? But it didn't work, right? But if you are serious with yourself and if you approach it with a profound seriousness, you can be honest with yourself, Okay, so maybe you counted the calories of the eggs that you had, but you neglected to count the calories of the lard that you fried it in, right? So the people who usually succeed in changing their body composition to what they wanted to are those that really commit to it and those that decide and take it seriously, right? So it is the same thing with meditation. You have to take it seriously. So will you get an epiphany the first day? Well, maybe you will. But even if you don't, think of it this way. Like imagine you have a blindfold on and you can't see. Like imagine it's a light room and you have working eyes and so on for the sake of this example, right? And you're completely blindfolded. The quickest way to see, obviously, is to take off the blindfold. But if for some reason it is like glued to your face and you can't do that, another thing you can do is to poke little holes in it. And over time, you'll poke enough little holes and you'll be able to see. So this is the same thing with meditation. So if in the first day you don't have an epiphany, don't give up. What you can do is just sit there until you feel a calmness, until you feel something higher reach you, or a calmness that creates a space for something higher to reach you, until you can feel a higher level emotions, like, gratitude or awe, right? So that's all you need to do. And there's another thing that I want you to do, which I'll get to in a minute. Now, in the beginning, I said that you'll be able to affect change in merely 3 days. Now, so if you meditate with utter seriousness for 3 days until you feel a higher level feeling, in about 3 days, something in you should have happened. Like those higher level feelings should have changed a little bit of something in you. So much that the universe will respond to you a little bit different, right? And a little bit in a higher way, because you are, in a sense, a little bit of a higher being due to those 3 days. Now, a lot of people, after they start meditating, they don't look for the signs. They don't think about it, right? If you just change a little bit, the universe will respond, and you can look for the signs. Like one of the signs may be someone saying hi to you who usually doesn't say hi to you. Someone smiling at you that usually doesn't smile at you. Or it could be like an inspirational thought of something that you may want to do in your future, right? Or it may be a text message from somebody who contacted you before you fell into the pit of darkness. So something like that. And when you experience that, your reaction most likely will be awe or gratitude, which is also a higher level emotion, which hopefully will level you up. So I said 3 days. So in 3 days, you will have changed enough for the universe to respond to you. If, however, you are particularly negative, and if you have plunged really deep into despair, and if your thoughts are so negative, it might take maybe 7 days, right? But if you commit to it, you will be able to affect change. The second thing to do is to keep a journal, right? Keep a journal of the higher level emotions and higher level thoughts that you've been thinking, particularly the ones that occurred to you during the meditation. What this does is it kind of extends that feeling, right? But also you want to be careful, because if you're trying to extend that feeling of what you've had during meditation, and up to then you've been a very negative person, sometimes what may happen is, if you're forcing it and trying to be positive on purpose, is that it flips and all of a sudden you start feeling resentment. So you don't want to go that far right away. So those are the 2 things I want you to do. Meditate with profound inner seriousness, and keep a journal of the higher level feelings and higher level thoughts that you have. Now, I do other things, right? I do other things, and I'm going to make videos of some of the other things that I also do. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe. Now, you're going to have to keep meditating if you want to keep seeing changes. It's like when you lose weight, and you lose fat and, put on muscle. You're going to have to continue doing it to maintain it. So the same thing is with meditation. However, you may not have to sit down and do it, right? After a while, you'll be able to put yourself in that state while going for a walk or going shopping. So you'll be able to do it that way. The truth is that you really want to keep meditating. Because you see, when you start being a higher level being, something happens. People will come from your past and try to test you. There'll be forces that will try to bring you down. So you need to keep at it, because it's very easy to fall right back into the pit. Of course, once you've already gotten yourself out, you know how to get yourself out. But if you've been in the pit, if you've been in the darkness for too long, after a while, the higher level where you were at may start to feel like it was a dream, like it's a pipe dream. And here's the thing, another thing. If you feel that having good things in your life, like love and money, is a pipe dream, then it means that you are so far down in that pit and you really, really need to put effort to get out. So what happened to my life after this? Well, after that experience, I committed to meditating every day. I committed to it. And my life started to feel better. But what about all the things that were going on in my life? Well, all the things that were falling apart kept on actually falling apart. All the job opportunities I was still holding on to, they went. But then I kind of realized I didn't really want those things. I didn't really want to do those things, right? And when it came to the friendships, I did realize that some of these people weren't really my friends. They were just there kind of like using me, right? So even though everything was falling apart, it was a good thing. After a while, new opportunities started to present themselves. It's like a new path was shown to me. And new people started to come into my life. People who thought more like me. People who supported my vision, right? Because previously, some of the people that were in my life would laugh at me for my life choices. But here, all of a sudden, I'm having people who actually support me, who want me to be successful. So this was very new, and it felt good. If you have ever had a higher level experience, an epiphany, whether it was due to meditation or for some other reason, please tell me about it in the comments. Thank you for watching.